So welcome everybody. I am Dr. Aditya Misra. I am an assistant professor in IIM Ranchi as well as co-chairman of Atal Bihari Vajpayee Center for Leadership Policy and Governance. And this is the Center of Excellence under IIM Ranchi. And we conduct interdisciplinary research projects related to the themes of leadership, policy and governance. We have been, there in creation and dissemination of knowledge through these kind of round tables, webinars, as well as seminars. And in present times, webinars are the best tool to disseminate knowledge, as you know. So today among us, we have three eminent, and I will say that, very hardworking entrepreneurs. And please welcome Ms. Deepmala, Ms. Saily Lad, and Ms. Neeta Adappa. Let me introduce these speakers one by one. Ms. Deepmala, she is the founder of the Visual House, which is based in New Delhi. And she is the Visual House is the video production services and branding solutions. And their clientele includes UNICEF, WHO, UNAIDS, UNFPA, UN Women, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, NACO, DROOM, ITC Limited, BCG India, and so on. And they are also impaneled with NFDC, that is National Film Development Corporation, and Directorate of Advertising and Visual Publicity. We welcome you, ma'am. So please have a round of applause for Ms. Deepmala. Then we have Ms. Saily Lad. She is the director at Volksara Techno Solutions Private Limited and Crystal Group of Companies. And this particular company is in providing safety solutions. And Ms. Saily Lad is honored with the first Young Woman Entrepreneur in IT Industry Award. She has worked on a smart city project in India and awarded with the best safe city in India, and the award was specific to Nasik and Kumbh Mela. We welcome you, ma'am. Then we have Ms. Neeta Adappa. She is the founder of Prakriti Herbals, and she is highly qualified entrepreneur who has featured on BBC World News in an episode of India Business Report 2015. She was also nominated for Woman Entrepreneur of the Year 2011 by Economic Times Now, and was honored to be among the top 3 finalists. Prakriti Herbals was founded by her in 1995, and now it is a trusted brand with more than 2 decades of experience with 5-star hotels like the Path, the Royal Orchid Group, major hospitals like Manipal Hospital and Apollo Cradle, as well as hotels like Goldman Sachs. We welcome you, ma'am, to this e-Symposium. I would also like to welcome our Honorable Director, Sir, Professor Sailendra Singh, who has taken out this time from his packed schedule. We welcome you, sir, to this e-Symposium. And I also welcome my colleague, Professor Anshuman Hazarika, who will be coordinating this particular e-Symposium. So now over to Director, sir, to say a few words about the center and institute. Then I will request Professor Hazarika to please go for the coordination of this symposium. Thank you. Over to Director.
Let me extend a very heartfelt welcome to the 3 speakers, Ms. Deepmala, Saily Lad, and Neeta Adappa. They have found time to interact with us, educate us on their own vocation. Let me just give a brief introduction to the institute and the center. Although as registrants are visible 25, they all are from IIM Ranchi community, so they don't need any introduction about IIM Ranchi. But for the speakers, let me say that IIM Ranchi is a 9th sibling in the family of 20 IIMs and located at the capital of Jharkhand. We are currently running 5 educational programs, starting with PhD, then executive PhD, master's program in business management, master's program in human resource management, master's program for executives in management, and we have also started from this year, master's program is business analytics. Apart from this, we keep on doing continuing education programs for executives and also undertake a lot of consulting in the industry and business areas. Atal Bihari Vajpayee Center for Leadership, Policy and Governance is a tribute to the statesman Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, who actually during his stewardship started the state of Jharkhand. So we thought it is appropriate to start a center in his name, and we keep on doing research and conducting summer workshop, winter workshop, and these kind of webinars, seminars, national conferences, and ultimately expect to develop this center as a think tank and going to start a 2-year postgraduate program in policy and management area. So I once again welcome to 3 speakers and looking forward to listen to them. Thank you, Aditya. And over to Hajarika.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, respected director, sir. I'm Anshuman Hazarika, and I'm an assistant professor here at IIM Ranchi. I'd like to welcome you all to the e-Symposium today, and this is the second in part of our series on women entrepreneurs in India, and it's titled Women in Startups, Challenges and Success Stories. So before we move ahead with the symposium, I'd just like to set down the rules of the event. As of the event, we'll have speakers speaking for a time of 15 minutes, and we'll be following the lineup where first Madam Deepmala would be speaking, followed by Ma'am Saily Lad, and then Ma'am Neeta Adappa. We would have a round of question answers after the speakers have spoken. To ensure that there is no disturbance and no external noise, we will try to have the question answer round through the chat box. However, in case there is a situation which cannot be explained in the chat box, in an exceptional situation, we might have a question answer round through an oral question. Also, I'd like to request all the participants to please keep their microphones on mute so that there are no disturbances during the ongoing event. But after the rounds are over, probably we might then have an oral question answer round if it is required. So thank you all for attending again, and I would like to now request Madam Deepmala to kindly start with her speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Anshumanji. Thank you, Professor Shailendra Singh. Thank you, Aditya ji, and thank you all the other panelists also. So, of course, we have we're meeting for the first time, Neeta ji and Saily ji. Thank you so much to be a part of this interaction with me and giving me this opportunity to share my experiences in front of the future of our country. So, thank you so much to all of you. So right now I'm going to present something which I feel and I follow, and I would talk about, you know, the agency that what are we doing, how we are doing, and I would also like to talk about what success means to me. I would also like to talk about what are the challenges that I faced as an agency, as an entrepreneur, and then what are the steps that we took. So these are the things that I'm gonna talk about today. And give me a minute, I will just share my presentation with you. So I hope this is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Like you've already introduced the visual house. So, you know, the visual house is my baby. It was born in 2010. And it started working as a video production agency and now running as an integrated communication agency. And I believe that, I think we are doing pretty good as we are working for the government, corporates, and the development sector a lot. We've been awarded with, we've been acknowledged with a lot of awards. And I am not saying that we've reached to the level that we wanted to achieve or something like that, but yes, we are somewhere. It's 10 years now, and of course we have a long way to go. So nothing comes easy in life, right? So I believe that, if you do not get an opportunity, be the one who creates it. And honestly, I really believe in this. Because I faced this, I follow this, and I've done all my life this. It doesn't mean that I did not get an opportunity. I did, but there are some things that you want to achieve, but you don't get an opportunity. So it's better to be the one who creates it, creates opportunity for your own, creates opportunity for others around you. And this is the statement that I always make. I also want to talk about who's an entrepreneur. Like for me, entrepreneur is a leader. The leader who learns what to do, how to do it or get the things done. Leader who invests his or her time, money and resources to build teams, systems and strategy. That person is entrepreneur. I am not saying that, I've been doing all good, but yes, I am trying to be an entrepreneur. And there are, there are challenges I face. Success is something that I feel that I am not a successful person. Because why I'm saying this? Because I have a desired goal. I want to achieve something, but I have not achieved that. So that I feel that the day I would feel that I am satisfied, I would be successful, and I hope that day should not come. That is how you grow. That is how you will learn. Once you set your targets, you need to achieve that. And it's good that you just set your targets on daily basis, yearly basis, and everything. So better to, just reach to wherever you want to reach. And I think that day I would feel that, okay, I'm successful. And of course, it's just 10 years I have started my business. And I believe that, it'll be like another 10 years or 15 years. So maybe I can say I'm successful. Also, every person faces challenges in their journey, and the other entrepreneurs who are sitting in front of me, so I'm sure they must be having their own challenges. I also face little bit challenges. My challenge, the biggest challenge was I did not have anything. I did not have capital. I did not have resources. I did not have any infrastructure, nothing. But yes, I had a skill. I had a skill to make friends. I had a skill to lead the team. I had a skill to get the work done, because I believe leading is a responsibility, and I love to be that responsible person. And I love that. But yes, that time there was a challenge that I did not have anything. Yes, now we have a team, we have infrastructure, we have resources. So we just overcome those challenges. And that is what we did. And the other main challenge, what I faced in this industry was, it is a male-dominating industry. It was a male-dominating industry. Right now, of course, I can say it's not much, like a lot of women are coming up in this industry. But, you had to get the work done from men. All the technicians, everybody was, as a men around you. But I believe if you know your job, if you are skilled enough, they will hear you. They will have to hear you. You need to be confident about your work, your expertise. And that is how I think these are the challenges I really, really faced. And of course, there are a lot of other challenges. If I have to talk about it, it'll go on. So of course, I have a time limitation, so I'm not going to talk much about it. See, like I said, I haven't achieved my goal. So there are like few mantras to achieve that success, okay? So you need to be very, very passionate about what you're doing. And I love what I do. And that is what something very, very important is. You need to have a clear vision. You need to have that focused approach. You need to have that commitment towards your team, towards your client, towards your work, everything. So this is something really, really important to achieve that success. Also, you need to observe. While you observe, you learn. You build your team. Building a team, I have learned this in these years, that building a team is an important skill. Great businesses are built by great teams. And now I'm in the process of building that team. But I take small steps, and you need to take small steps. I really, really believe in small steps are more powerful than our bigger dreams. You need to create opportunities, new partnerships, strategize, always strategize, take action, just don't talk. This is the mantra to achieve my success. And I believe if I'm going to follow this, of course, I'm going to achieve that success. Right? I would also talk about the challenge COVID-19. This is the latest challenge we all are facing. I am facing, you are facing, as a teacher, students, entrepreneurs, everybody is facing. But what to do? I don't think we need to worry. Worry kills you more than the actual problem does. I really, really believe in that. So you need to take action, acknowledge the crisis, accept it, and act accordingly. This is something you should do. Why I'm saying this? Because when it all started, we also did that. We tried to focus on new things. You know, there was a time I used to say, I don't get time to build my team. I don't get time to do this and that because I'm busy. I'm working hard. I'm working day and night. I was busy in operations. Maybe I was not focusing on other things. But COVID-19 gave me time. COVID-19 gave me time to think about whatever I missed in these years, what I should do. So this is what I took action. I took action that, you know, this is the time to communicate with people. This is the time to talk to the people, talk to your team frequently, build your networking, create new strategies, new partnerships. I am now focusing on sales and marketing, which I was not focusing, I believe, in the last years. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. You know, every challenge you face and then you grow, you learn. And this is what we have been doing. We are surviving. We have survived in this COVID-19 because definitely we are doing new things. I'm talking to you. This is another thing that I'm doing. This is also, this COVID-19 gave me this time to talk to you, to interact with you, to share my experiences with you. So, you know, accept it and act accordingly. This is what I really, really believe in. You know, 7 core activities of any business. Neeta ji and Shelly, they definitely would agree with me. You know, when you start your setup, so you have to handle all your activities of, you know, the business. You have to handle sales, you have to handle marketing, you have to handle R&D, you have to handle operations, HR, accounts, management. So this is what, you know, when I started, I used to handle all of these departments at that point of time. And of course, right now I'm managing, because now I have built teams and I'm in the process of building teams. So now we have a whole setup, but these activities, all of these activities have to run consistently. This is something very important for any business, whether it is a service industry as I am in, whether it is a product industry or any industry. All the departments have to run consistently, and I have learned these in all these years. Marketing is something, you know, like I said, I'm trying to focus on more of marketing. I believe that marketing is not something self-promotion activity. It's something bringing, you know, adding value. You need to strategize. You need to think about how to reach to the right people with new strategies. What is the right strategy for you? And that is what, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, I am doing in these days. I'm trying to hire right people. I'm not saying that this is the right time, but yes, I am trying to do that, because we always look for creative people. We always look for right people. So we are investing our time in that. When I started, of course, I was the only one who was handling this. Now I am managing this. I used to do each and everything alone. I used to tell people why they should buy my service. What is the reason? This is how I used to sell it. But now I have a team. So, but you know, I would say, kitna bhi aap busy ho, each and every department should run consistently. This is how we should plan our things. You should strategize our things. And yes, I would say, don't look for immediate result. Look for immediate action. It always creates peace and progress. And let me tell you, whatever I have said, this is all what I follow. I'm not saying what I follow is right, but I would say if you feel that I had made a little bit of sense or add value to this session, so you can also follow us on the Visual House, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. We always look for good people, creative people. We're open, always open. We're always hiring. So please follow us on all our platforms. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Deepmala, for introducing us to your venture and your journey till now. I now request Madam Saily Lad of Volksara Techno Private Limited to please present us and also speak about her journey.
Thanks, Anshuman. And Madam Deepmala, it was an amazing introduction to your company and whatever you've done, your journey. And I strongly believe whatever you said is almost similar. I think even Madam Neeta would agree. Our journeys might be a little different, but not that different. Thank you, Shailandra ji and Aditya, for getting me on this platform. I would like to present what I have done, maybe a little different than Deepmala ji, but of course, because the industry is different, so the journey was also different. And the success story was also different. Of course, as Deepmala ji said, there is a long way for success, but whatever we have achieved in the last 5 years, I would like to first brief you about what exactly our company does, because that is probably something which is not very well known to everybody. Who am I is basically, I believe very strongly that I am a part and I am Volksara. Volksara Techno Solutions is a company which I started in 2014 as a very young entrepreneur who decided I wanted to very strongly start a company which is only and only into IT. So in Volksara, what we do is we provide entire IT, IoT, IBMS systems from end-to-end services. That is from design and build to maintenance in the next 5 years, 6 years, however it is dependent. Today, we are a team of almost 50 engineers and we continue to grow. We are catering to both public and domain private sector. With private sector, I mean every single individual company or residential areas. But specifically in public domain, we cater to smart cities, data centers, data storage, and all the other services. With that, if you ask me why a startup, for me, it was very easy after I finished my education for me to join my family business coming from a family background. It was very simple to start, just join my father's company and start whatever the business was. But I strongly believe to play big and get a seat at the table, you just need to build your own table. And only because of that belief, I decided to jump into an entire new company which we started, and probably it didn't look that successful or it didn't look that promising initially when I started, because the whole inception was to start a surveillance company. But with years and times, of course, we also have a back-end team which we have an entire R&D team of almost 10 to 15 people, engineers, who continuously keep looking into new services or new technology or new hardware or software, which we can introduce to a single user or to an entire city or a state, or especially the whole belief is to build India a better and promising country. We have managed to reach almost 150 crores this year, and that would have been much higher if COVID was not in the situation. But nevertheless, we aren't very unsatisfied. We're very happy with all the projects we've been doing, and they have been great for us. As challenges specifically mentioned, as Deepmalaji said, women in IT is also a very rare situation. And women in IT till date in the last 5 years haven't really increased. There's still not as many as they were expected to come in. Not many people, women are willing to cater to the working hours of IT industry, specifically in system integration. System integration requires a lot of field work. It requires a lot of hours of work, which feasible is not feasible for their family or for themselves. And in this situation, when I entered in women as a woman in the IT industry, it was not accepted by the male dominating market leaders for to work with a woman or to even accept a woman competing and competing with them. Uh, the other biggest challenge for me was, of course, my qualification, which comes from business management. I have studied and I have completed business consulting. And as soon as I finished business consulting, it was an inception, which it was an idea where I was working in a company in EY actually, where this whole idea struck that I should work onto smart cities. And so I felt it would have been a challenge to go and speak to my father initially, where my father would have said, in fact, he expected me to join after my education to join his company. So I thought it would have been a challenge, but that wasn't really a challenge. It was very smooth. In fact, he was in fact very happy to see that I have decided to make my own identity rather than carrying forward with the family identity. But of course, the challenge was not my father. And then I saw that, coming from a business background, learning everything into IT, learning everything into engineering, it was starting from the scratch. It was starting from ground zero. And I would say I have still not learned, understanding that even IT grows every 6 months. I am probably much more behind schedule, and I'm still striving hard to learn. The worst part till date I see is wherever I go, people say you are too young for this. Wherever I approach as a entrepreneur for sales pitch or even for government projects, I am always looked up on and said, you are too young for this. Maybe you should wait for 5 more years. Why don't you start after 5 years? Why don't you look into government projects after 5 years? Because understanding IT government projects are pretty big. So they always keep going like, why don't you look for after 5 years? In fact, till last year. So when I started, I was 23 in 2014, where I accepted that, yeah, maybe I am too young. Maybe I'm too young to even understand what I am trying to sell. But 5 years down the line, even today, where I have grown in experience also, but still there is this difference. First of all, you're a woman. How are you going to work on field every day? How are you going to give enough time for all these sort of projects, these big size projects? And plus, you are young. But I think I have fought against it, and we've managed to get into it, and successfully managed to get projects which were told to me initially that no, you cannot do it, beta. Why don't you look for it after a year? And I was very headstrong. In fact, even last year for a very big project called PCMC, I was told that beta, why don't you try next year or next 5 years down the line for another smart city? Because you're too young, because it is actually one of the largest smart cities in the country. But I managed to bank it, and we managed to get it as a project for us. So about success stories and challenges also, actually, Nashik Kumbh Mela was our biggest challenge, and it was our first project. So 2014, we started the company. In 2015, we got Nashik Kumbh Mela. Nashik Kumbh Mela was more only into safe city projects. And the project was awarded to us in February. And we were, but due to some government issues, and there was a stay order on the project. So just 2 months before the Kumbh Mela was supposed to start, we were given the project to start. So we worked almost 21 hours a day, and I have seen places where I was standing on field, and the police officers have told me this is not the right time to go. But as Deepmalaji mentioned very before, that an entrepreneur is also a leader, and the skill set So I always felt that my team is working for 20, 21 hours. Why do I sit back? So I was also on field, and it was a very challenging project. But this is one of the projects which we were awarded internationally as the best safe city, and it was the first safe city in India to be nominated in UK. After that, over almost 4 years, there was no big project which we executed. There were multiple small projects and multiple different R&D projects which we managed to bag. But as a large project which could have given us a turnover also as a success story, there were not many. Until 2018, when we got Nashik Smart City. Post Nashik Smart City, we got a lot of opportunities where we did PCMC, that is Pimpri Chinchwad Smart City, which is the largest smart city today in India, and also complies of almost 90% of all the services which a smart city should have. We are also working on the cyber side of these projects, where we are wanting to introduce cyber security on a larger scale in India, which is missing. After that, we got Sikkim. In fact, even when we got Sikkim as a smart city project, my father was the first time when my father opposed, thinking it is a northeastern city. Why do you want to go? It is not going to be easy. But I must say it is one of the first cities which we completed completely as a smart city. And yes, so I very strongly believe that you shouldn't wait for an opportunity to arrive. You shouldn't wait or you shouldn't demotivate yourself when there is nothing. Like if you look back, I had nothing for almost 4 years as a project in my hand, from my first project to fourth project. So I always feel the secret of getting ahead is getting started. As Deepmala ji also said something on the same lines. And that's all I would like to introduce. That is all about me. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Lad, for your inspiring speech. I would now like to request Madam Neeta Adappa from Prakriti Herbals to tell us about her venture and about starting a new company these 2 decades ago, and what are the challenges that she has faced till now.
Yeah. Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank all of you, and it is so wonderful listening to the other panelists, because it's so nice when you listen to other entrepreneurs and you're like, yeah, she's gone through exactly what I have gone through. So, you know, you get that bonding right away, both when Deepmala spoke and when Saily spoke, you know, right from day one, we have our battles to face. And I would also like to really, you know, thank you for the opportunity of interacting with such an elite audience and such a brilliant audience. I'm not saying it for the sake of it. I have benefited from mentoring from an IIM Professor Abhay Dixit, and it's really changed the course of my career. So I owe a lot to the IIM fraternity. Going forward, I would, like Ms. Anshuman said, so I will be showcasing my journey, because I feel whatever has happened from day one. So the challenges, and it's up to us at how the challenges have been converted into opportunities, and then opportunities into success stories. But like Deepmala said, success is still a long way to go. I am just presenting my presentation. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So just to introduce you to Prakriti Herbals, this is like Deepmala said, this is my baby, and it was actually born 1 year after I had my kid. So generally that is the time where women give up work, like when they get married or they have a child, is when the percentage of people dropping from the workforce happens. But I think I was lucky that I was able to start my journey after I got married and I had a kid. Now, Prakriti Herbals is a herbal personal care brand, and to just tell you a very little quickly about it. So what we do is we make natural skincare products and hair care products. They are herbal, They are Indian. They are made of all the ingredients are of Indian origin, and they are made by a 90% women-led team. And they of course treat the modern day problems today, but what our main thing is to increase the confidence. So if you use our products and you're confident at the end of the day, then our motive is achieved, is what we feel at Prakriti. So we have two verticals at Prakriti. One is the retail vertical, and we also have the hospitality vertical, what they told you about, where we cater to the healthcare sector and the hospitality sector. So what I really felt was that the only way to really showcase the challenges was to take you back, because it's been one roller coaster of a ride. And I think that is what entrepreneurship is all about. It's never going to be smooth sailing. It's always going to have its ups and downs. And I think that's how we really enjoy it. So the only way I can really showcase my challenges is to take you back right to the very beginning, where it all started. So I've been born and brought up in Mumbai, and I think some of the resilience and confidence really rubbed off on me, and it really stood me in good stead during my entire entrepreneurial journey. This was I did my B.Pharm and M.Pharm, and at that time there was no concept of entrepreneurship. You either did your PhD, or you got a job, or you went abroad. And my only dream was to get a job in a multinational, which I did. But at the end of it, I was not happy with it. 6 months down the line, I said, this is not what I want to do. I want something more creative. I want something more challenging. How do I go about it? And at that time in 95, there wasn't much of options available to me. But then luckily for me, what happened was my marriage was a godsend for me. So again, I broke the stereotype over there. My husband, Saily Lad, he's a very successful entrepreneur. And he inspired me. He said, why don't you start something on your own? Why do you want to do a 9-to-5 job? Think of something. But then the million-dollar question is, most of us have gone through, and every budding entrepreneur faces, what do I start off with? It's very easy to say, I want to start off, but to get the right thing, to get exactly, and I wanted to do something which was within my, the purview of what I had studied, and something I was comfortable with. So I was doing a lot of soul searching and a lot of dilemmas about what to do about it. And this is when I had a very harrowing experience with a synthetic cosmetic. I had a facial at a parlor, and unfortunately what happened is I got a severe allergic reaction to it. And the only way I could heal it was when I used aloe vera from the plant, the aloe vera plant, which I had studied about in my college in my cosmeticology and pharmacognosy. So that's when I realized that, there's so many women out there who are looking for skincare solutions, who are looking for hair care solutions, who want genuine herbal cosmetics. And that genuine herbal cosmetics with aloe vera was the need of the hour. I think that was the eureka moment for me, and that's how Prakriti was incepted in 1995. And it happened from a very small garage attached to my home, with an even small capital of 10,000, which is very symbolic because I had taken it from my earnings at German Remedies, where I was working earlier. So meanwhile, what happened is, you call it serendipity, you call it the law of attraction. My colleague in college and also my colleague at German Remedies, she happened to land up next door to me in Bangalore, all the way from Mumbai to Bangalore. And she wanted to do something as well. So both of us decided to go ahead with it. And that's how the beautiful journey began. But then it wasn't smooth sailing. We started off with herbal cosmetics for parlors. We thought, we had thought about what the person wants, and we knew how to make it. But what we hadn't thought about was, how are we going to market it? What is the sales potential? How do we, make sure that the turnover is enough to get the break even? And soon we got into trouble because we were not able to scale it up. We are not able to get the kind of turnover that we wanted, and not able to break even at all. We were at our wits' end. We didn't know what to do. But being the true blue Bombay girls, because Bombay, we never give up. And, we persevered. We knew that one day that if we stick on to it, and the tide will definitely turn. And it did. And what happened is that, suddenly out of the blue, from nowhere, one of our parlor owners told us that there is a hotel called Nahar Heritage, and they're looking for bottle the shampoo bottles, and can you do it? So we had no idea. I had no idea how to bottle it, how to print it. We just knew how to make the product, but we took it as a challenge, and we decided to look at the opportunity in it. And it's been so beautiful that after that we have never looked back. So I really believe in this mantra that when you truly believe in something, then the universe conspires to make it happen. It's just that you need to believe in yourself. You need to take that plunge. So going forward, we started giving it to a lot of hotels, and we were very prompt with our timely delivery, and people started asking us for basket of products. And slowly, from 1995, we moved. The first milestone was moving to 1,000 square feet. From the garage, we moved out to 1,000 square feet factory, and then we moved to a 3,000 square feet when we got the Royal Orchid group on board for Pan India. And every time it was what the customer wanted. It was a customer who has asked us that, we are happy with your product. Give me one vendor. I do not want 10 vendors. You make all the products for me. Again, we didn't know how we were going to do it, but we had the belief and faith, and I went ahead with that. And by that time, Anisha had to move back to Mumbai, but I still had the confidence that I could go the path alone. She's still one of my biggest well-wishers, so that was a beautiful journey that we had together. Another place where we really employed this mantra was when in 2011, all the customers that who have people who have tried it at the hospitals or they had tried it at the hotel, they started coming back to us and telling us, this is a beautiful product. There was a lady who called me from Orange County, and she said, for the first time, my hair fall, I use your hibiscus shampoo, I use your Ratanjot oil, and my hair fall has decreased. My maid is so happy that there is no hair all over the house. And why don't you make bigger bottles? And the customer is king. So whatever the customer wanted, we went ahead with it. So 2011-12, and we started getting a lot of responses like this. 2011-12 was when I started my online journey. I started blogging. I started giving a lot of DIY tips. And what happened was that people started coming back to us and saying that, the tips are fine, but, I want to buy the products. And it was a challenge because from moving from a B2B to B2C is not easy. It was very scary for me. And because that was, you always have that fear of the unknown and going into uncharted territory. So that was when I did the Goldman Sachs course, and that's when Abhay sir helped me and put a business plan in place, and that's how we took the plunge. So I'm happy to say that today we have 40 retail products online. We have, we cater to 100 plus hotels and hospitals. We have channel partners in Singapore and US, and who market our products internationally. So it's been a beautiful journey. And we are happy to say that we are a 90% women-led organization, because I believe it comes from the grassroots. So most of our women are, they are married, they have children, but still we have encouraged them to come back to us. And after they have finished take their breaks, but we always encourage them to come back. And I'm also so happy to say that this organization is now spearheaded by my daughter. So she, Neeta Adappa, she finished her MS in marketing. And when she saw the potential in Prakriti Herbals, she said, no, I can make this a global brand. And this is where I want to take it. So, once again, we broke the stereotypes. And so she leads this team. And I'm very, very proud of the team that we have, because everybody is into, there are some of us, some of them have been with us for more than 25 years. There are 2-3 right from the start, they've been with us, Shanti and Grace, and the others have been with me for more than 10 years. So it's about the growth of Prakriti together. Now, I also wanted to, talk about a few incidents, because like Deepmala and Saily said, we do resonate with all the challenges which is faced by women in startups. And like she said, you're too young, or, you're not mature, you're not good enough is what we have. Hello? Hello?
You're audible, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. So So this was the biggest challenge, was not that we were not taken seriously enough. And I still remember the day when I went to a government, we went for government registration, and he turned around and said that, please bring your husbands along if you want to register. So we said, our husbands are our biggest source of support and encouragement, but they are not going to run the company. Why do you want them? They said, nahi ma'am, aap aaj hai, kal, you will disappear. I want to see somebody responsible. Imagine this is the kind of response we got. And we had to go for a month almost every day and convince him that no, we mean business. And finally, we got our registration done. I really wish I could meet that person today. So I could tell him that we are still here 25 years down the line, and we haven't disappeared. We haven't gone anywhere. Another, social expectations and gender stereotypes. So this exactly shows one example of this incident is it was the gender stereotyping. They felt that women were not responsible enough. And even when, for example, when a child is sick, or when a child has a board exam, which parent is expected to take care of it? The answer that is flashing through most of your minds is why there's so much gender stereotyping and social expectations still associated with women working in India. I think that's the reason corporate India has not really been able to put women in leadership posts as much as they should be. Out of 100 CEOs, we have only 3 CEOs. The percentage is so minimal. Out of the entire industry output that is given by women entrepreneurs, I read an article just yesterday, it says just 3% is given by women entrepreneurs. Why is it so low? Why is there so much guilt about working long hours? I think one of the panelists mentioned that, they told her that why you can't work so many hours. So that is the same kind of challenges that I have faced, earlier, that what is the number of hours that you can work? And there's a lot of guilt associated that, are you neglected your family? But there are 2 things that we can do about it. We can either whine about it, or there is something that we can go ahead and do about it. So I think I would rather take the second option. And like I mentioned, I started off at a point where people give up work, but this is what I encourage in my colleagues. I encourage in my immediate friends and family, and try and mentor women entrepreneurs and encourage them to take the plunge. Because I feel that, this is the change has to start from within. The change has to start from us. And I think as entrepreneurs, we really owe it to society to bring up our co-fellow women entrepreneurs. Again, finding that perfect balance between work and family, I'm sure Deepmala and Saily will agree with me that this just doesn't exist. There's nothing called a perfect woman, just like there's nothing called a perfect man. And I don't understand this concept of 50-50. Because for me, it's always been 150% of when I'm at work. That is, I give, there are times when I'm at work 12 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours. And there are times when I've given 150% to my family. So I think this flexibility is one of the biggest advantages that you have as being an entrepreneur. And I think women entrepreneurs, because in a 9-to-5 job, you can't do that. You can't work for, 18 hours and then you can take a break. But this is the flexibility which really helped me, and motherhood has. I have a son in IIT. I have a daughter who has done her MS and joined me, and I think they're fiercely independent, and it's really helped me a lot. So flexibility is definitely one of the challenges. The challenge is being converted into an opportunity. This was access to funding is another major problem that most of us have, and we were denied a loan initially by several banks. And because again, we were women entrepreneurs, they didn't have faith in our capabilities to repay. And only when we went to Vijaya Bank and Swashakti that we were able to get a loan. So this really has limited a lot of growth opportunities for a lot of women entrepreneurs. And it is something that we all as entrepreneurs need to help them out, and at the government level, whatever can be done should be done. Fear of failing. I think this is something that has paralyzed the best of us. And even I had a fear of moving from a B2B to B2C. And it was only when I did the mentoring with her that I was able to really move it. I think this fear of failing is something that is inborn in us, and it's something that we have to really grapple with more with women entrepreneurs. We are happy with what we have. We're happy with our comfort zone. We need to start taking the big risks and go for it. Just take the plunge. So this is what I really believe in. For example, if we had waited for the perfect moment to make the parlors, the products for the parlors, or if we had waited that let the next opportunity come, we would never have got started. So I think it's very important that you take the challenge, convert it into an opportunity, and then success will follow. Another thing that has really helped me is to never give up. Like both the panelists mentioned, especially Deepala mentioned during the COVID episode that's going on, crisis that is going on right now. So all our hotels are closed. Healthcare is not doing that well, but we are still able to manage we're still able to give our salaries, and that's because we diversified. We thought of doing third-party manufacturing. We are talking to healthcare abroad. In fact, we are so happy that we have just landed an order for a hospital in South Africa, and we'll be able to meet all our targets with that. So I think it's about never ever giving up, because it's when you do that, doors open up automatically for you. The defining moments of success for me would definitely be the customer satisfaction has been my greatest reward, honestly speaking. It's when people who, as children, people who have contacted us and said that I'm going to Australia, I'm going to the UK, I want to take your products, I want to take, it should last me for a year. That's when you feel so good about yourself. And it's when it's made a difference to somebody's life. I remember the time when a lady came to me and she said her daughter had such severe acne that, and not even an inch of her face was clear. And it couldn't be resolved medically, but with our products, the face pack and the rose gel, she could eliminate it in a few weeks. When she came to me and with tears in her eyes, she held my hand. I mean, that moment was worth more than $1 million for me. And I think as an entrepreneur, it is those moments that make all the struggle worthwhile. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Adappa, for your inspiring words. I would now like to request our Honorable Director, sir, for his comments on the presentations by our speakers. And in the meantime, you can please put in your questions in the chat box that we can take after the speech by the Honorable Director, sir.
Dear Anshuman, I'm not going to make any speech. They have already made a good. I whatever they have said. One common theme is that they were all passionate about their own ventures, and they considered it their own babies. So if there is a baby seen progressing, baby seen struggling, baby seen doing well, it is all joyous for a mother. So they are mother, and they have nurtured their ventures very well, seen the journey of the ventures, and they had faith in themselves. That's what had made their struggle into a joyful journey. Although refuse loan, refuse many other things. I like the sentences which are motivational, like in first presentation by Madam Deepmala, it was saying that if you don't have the opportunity, create the opportunity. That is what is something very good. And even for our management student, this can be a slogan that create opportunity rather than look for opportunity. And then all of them have had vision. All of them had challenges of work and family. And as it was said, that there is nothing like perfect balance between work and family. They did struggle and did back and forth, taking care of family and taking care of the venture. And finally, they say that success is not something that is destination. It will come, it will go on as a journey. It is actually the journey which they have enjoyed, and in the way they have created the venture, which are exemplary, which are successful, but successful is defined in time and the space, so it will vary from time to time. So thank you, Anshuman.
Thank you, Director Sir.
All speakers for making such a nice presentation.
Thank you again. I'd now like to move on with the questions, and I will take the questions from the chat box. So again, in case anyone has a question, please insert it in the chat box and we'll take it one by one. So now I'd like to start with Madam Deepmala and the first question, and we'll also take the inputs from the other speakers. We have a question from our respected professor, Mr. Asit Mohapatra, and he asks, I have a question. How do women entrepreneurs cope with multiple expectations and challenges from home, office, and customers, etc.? What is the single most, I think he meant, important factor for their success? So start off with Madam Deepmala here.
Thank you, Anshumanji. So, see, the most important thing that I feel is the determination. If you have that determination, so you can just, try to go into your journey and then, try to achieve your goals and all. So the most important thing is the determination, I would say. And because I had that determination and I was an independent person throughout. And I think credit goes to my father. He used to say that, you need to do everything on your own. Just do it. And that is how, I always felt that, I need to do something of my own. I always wanted to do something of my own. And so that passion and determination was there. And that is how, we just reached to one particular level.
Madam Saily, if you like to add something here.
As Deepmala ji said, that determination is something very important and also a dream. Like I was in my 5th grade, since when I was very sure that I want to start my own business, or I want to do something in a business. I don't want to work for some company, or I don't even want to work for my father. I was very sure. It was just a thought about what I want to do, something which I discovered eventually. But in that span of time, from my 5th grade till I started my business, I even saw my mother doing the work-life balance of going to work, doing her, she's also an entrepreneur, so doing her business, doing her work, plus balancing out family so well and raising 2 kids pretty balanced out. Probably that was something I looked upon and looked towards, and that was one of the ways I thought I could move ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. Anything you'd like to add, Madam Adappa? You'd like to request you to remove your microphone from mute on the screen. Yes.
Yeah. So, like Saily said, yeah, I'm audible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that's what it's. I think it's about just believing in yourself, and because unless you do that, the whole world is not going to believe you. And when you have that faith in yourself, and you start commanding that respect, not only at home, at work, and it's also about the quality time given. So that's what I mentioned even earlier. When you're able to, like, she said, when she was talking about it, I hope I hear the same thing from my daughter when she talks about me. So she says that, because they have seen us working as entrepreneurs. So I think that as a working mother, best example you can give is to make your children become fiercely independent and they really look up to you. And it's all about the quality time. It's not about that, if I'm 8 hours at home, like the question was about how will you manage the home, family, and all of that. So it's not that you have to be 12 hours at home to make sure that the home is run perfectly. You can, the 2 hours, the couple of hours that you spend over there, the hours that you spend at work, if you give your best quality to it, if you make sure that you are giving 150% of your attention and your passion to it, I think all the areas are taken care of. And again, don't look at perfection. If you're, if you can award yourself a 6 on 10, a 5 on 10, and you're a good human being, I think be happy with that. Do not look for that perfection going forward. And I'm sure both of you all will agree with me.
I would like to add here that, like you said, that, there's nothing called perfection, balance and all, right? I feel that, it is all about managing, because I know the kind of field I am in, you have to travel, you need to just, your daughter is grown. I have an 8-year-old daughter, right? So of course her father takes care of her when I'm out. My mother is also taking care of her. But it's all about managing. And like you said, quality time, yes, of course. If I'm able to spend, minimum of 2 or 4 hours with her. So, but it is, it's something good for her. And if she's learning with me, if I'm enjoying with her, if she's enjoying with me, I think that's called satisfaction. And of course, guilt to kahin na kahin, you all know it's there, but we have no choice, because at the end it is my choice to being an entrepreneur. So it is my choice to how I have to manage my work and my family, right? So this is completely up to us. So we can't blame anyone, right?
Yeah, and I really think the support system is also something that is very important, because without our support system, without, like, my mom is at home with me, so my husband is very supportive, my children are very independent, and you have your friends, you have your colleagues, so your support system is very important going forward, if you want to multitask and be able to ace it and all of it.
Agree completely.
Thank you. So we have a next question from Professor Rohit Kumar, and he asks, now I'd like to start off with Madam Saily Lad here. Is there an entrepreneurial gene, or can one nurture it, or both? So what do you think about that?
I strongly believe that it is a gene that every individual has it. It is just about the kick or just about the dream you aspire, or whatever you believe in. You have to believe in yourself. Entrepreneurship is just belief. It is the gene which you have to get it alive within you. It is not necessary for you to have a business background, because I have a lot of people around me who do not come from a business background but are very successful entrepreneurs today. So it is just about your own belief and determination, as Deepala said. You cannot give up.
Right. Thank you. I'd just like to start off with Madam Adappa again, and Professor Shakshi. She has a question for all three of you. We'll just follow up with the others then. She asked that, what was the kick that led you to go for your entrepreneurship? We'd like to definitely, you had a very interesting story starting from German Remedies. So what was that kick at German Remedies which pushed you forward?
Yeah, so what I found at German Remedies is that though it's a fabulous institution, but then I felt that I was not able to, use my creativity. I was, I needed to go to work on a Monday morning looking for a challenge, looking for something creative. So I think it was a passion that I was looking for. And it is also, that eagerness to make a mark, to stand out and make a mark for yourself in the world, that, this is something. It might be a small little gel that I made or a face pack that I made, but, this is something that I have made versus something that I have worked for a company and then they have made it. So I think entrepreneurs have that kida that, ki hum kuch banate hain, and then somebody should really like it and benefit from it. And the kind of satisfaction you get, like, it is unparalleled. There's no valuation to that. So I think that is what drives most entrepreneurs, to do something on your own and make your mark in the world.
So Mrs. Mala, do you also have a similar story of a kick that you received in your past venture or past work which pushed you forward here to opening your own?
So I agree with Neeta ji, what she's saying. For me, it is about loving your job, loving your work. That is the kick. I really love enjoying my work. I enjoy my work. I enjoy making films. And I love that appreciation that I get from my clients, appreciation for my work. And this is what the kick is, making me growing better and better. So that is what I feel, that, you need to love your job, and when I see my clients are appreciating us, they give their testimony, they come back to us, to buy again that service. So this is something makes me very, very happy, and makes me something that, yes, we have done little bit. Okay, now let's just try and do better and get it all your life.
So Miss Lad, I just wanted to know that you also said that you worked in the corporate sector before. So was there inspiration for your venture also starting from your work, or was that something which you got at when you studied or before that?
It was from my work place, because I was working on a project which was pretty much similar to the smart city, but not exactly a smart city, but something related to smart city. And that's exactly where I proposed to my father that how about I start something into not safe cities, so the surveillance business, which was just picking up in India. I was in UK. So, and I had this dream of always, I never wanted to settle in UK. I always wanted to come back in India, and I always wanted to build a business in India. So, I believe I decided I will come down, and in 2012 itself, 2014 actually, Modi ji announced the 100 smart cities. So I really felt that if this is the right time, I moved back and I start, because not many companies were in India who were doing the same business. So it was a new thing for everybody. And I could have, it was the right time to become the market leader at that time.
Thank you. So we now have a question from Vinita, and it is also to Neeta ma'am, and she asks about how she wants to know, how did you invest on the quality of your product? What challenges you faced while positioning your products differently from others to stand out? I think this would be a question from almost all entrepreneurs now, and we have schemes from the government promoting entrepreneurship. So how do we stand out from the other players in the market, and how do we get the quality right?
Yeah, so a lot of research and a lot of inputs go into it. It's not that we make a product overnight. There's sometimes we take almost a year or 2 years to launch a product. So I think a lot of emphasis is required on the quality of a product. For me, it's important that when I say that it is, it's an anti-dandruff, it should do that. If it's anti-acne, it should do that. The product should do what it says. And that is how one of the things that you can stand out. When it's effective, when it is economical, it is easy to use, and it comes with a lot of research and backing. It comes with a lot of formulations, a lot of thought that has gone into it. I think the care that you take in formulating it and bringing it out to the market, and we do a lot of testing at laboratories, and we make sure that it is perfectly safe before it goes out into the market. So the care that is taken and the customization that is done, I think that is how we really differentiate. Another thing I do is that I like to connect with the customer. So, on my Facebook page, on my website, they can actually connect with me and they can get a free consultation. Because when you walk into a store, you don't know whether this shampoo is good for you or this cream is good for you. You have this kind of hair. There's no one to help you out. But here, what we do is we give personalized consultation where we actually interact with you, and then we suggest that this is what will work for you. So I think that personalized consultation coupled with formulation and a lot of thought that has gone into research is something that has really set us apart. And we have grown by word of mouth. So word of mouth is something which happens only when your quality is absolutely great.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the next question to Mrs. Mala, and it's a question from Subhashri Sahu. She asks, first, she has complimented all of you for your inspiring insights, and she asked the question, how did you all spread the word about the venture and make the people have faith in your idea and join you in the initial phase?
So, Anshumanji, I just forgot the name of the person who had asked this question.
It was Subhashri Sahu.
Okay. So here it is. You know what? When the moment I lost this question honestly. What was the question? Just come back, please.
Yes, she was asking like, how did you make people have faith in your idea and join you in the initial phase?
Okay, it is all about the quality. I said initially also when I was presenting my presentation, when I started, in anything, I did not have anything. Okay, I did not have brand value, but I had that confidence to how to make films. Okay, so it is not that I just tried to create that faith in my customers with my brand. It is about my service. It is all about my expertise, the kind of field I am in. I am a creative person. I create things, I create films, I create communication materials, right? So it is all about the service. So once these people work with us, any of them, I would say 99% of the work that we do is all referral. Is all referral. Like Neeta ji has also said, word of mouth really matters. And once we work with someone, they are coming back to us. Why they are coming back to us? Because we provide quality, we provide commitment, and we are better in making stories. We are better in making creating stories and films. So ultimately, when at the end you are good at your work, you're providing quality, your clients are happy, they are satisfied, your brand will build anyhow, and then people will come back to you again and again. And that is how we are growing. Like I said initially, also, I would like to mention one more thing. This is out of the question. That I did not have a business background. I did not know anyone who was close to my family or anyone who had that business background. Okay. But yes, I was an independent person and I'm an independent person. I wanted to do my stuff. I wanted to create my brand. And I am very ambitious. I want to build my brand. And we are now in the process of that. And it all depends if you provide quality work, if you are good at your service, I am sure you will achieve what you want to achieve.
Thank you. Thank you. We have the final question for today. And this is to Madam Adappa from Devarati Chatterjee. And she asks, like, the basic gist of her question is, how do you balance your duties as a mother and a leader? What are the specific difficulties you faced? And also for a budding entrepreneur, how do you manage those at that time? So basically a question based on your experience.
How do you manage? I didn't get that.
Balance those responsibilities as a mother and as a leader.
Yeah, so I think I've spoken about this earlier as well. So as a mother and as a leader, I think with my children especially, I think I inspire them because I am a leader in my work. So they look up to me, and they have both grown up to be individuals who will definitely turn out to be entrepreneurs. Anusha has already joined me, and she wants to start something on her own. At 18, she wanted to do something on her own. So whenever Shelly speaks, you remind me so much of Anusha. So I think it is a kind of respect that you carry for yourself. When you respect yourself, that this is not something that I'm not doing something wrong. I'm running a company and I'm taking care of you. And if you're able to balance both, if you're able to, it's not that you should totally ignore them. What I said is, what I've seen is I have got a lot of flexibility in this, because I have my family, I have my extended family, I have friends, and I'm able to give time to them because I'm able to adjust the time at my work. There are times when I work extra at work. There are times when I give extra time to my home. But I think what we have to do it guilt-free. If we keep, if we keep that guilt keeps going at us, then we are not actually, we shouldn't have the feeling that, oh, I'm sacrificing myself for something. You do it happily. When you're at work, give your 100%. When you're at, with the children, give your 100%. And I think they learn from that, because especially with family, I think with children, they don't follow what you say, they follow what you do. So, I think only it's your actions that can convey that. And as a budding entrepreneur, I think you should be just open, you should be flexible, and you should respect yourself first. And automatically you get the respect from others.
Thank you, Madam Adappa. Director sir, if you have any final comments for today's event and the speakers.
I was moved. I said that it was a great event, and a lot of queries and curiosities of many budding entrepreneurs may have been satisfied by these question and answers, and they were quite convincing.
Thank you, sir. I'd now like to request Professor Aditya Mishra to present a vote of thanks and concluding words. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Hazarika, and I feel privileged, to go for a vote of thanks for these successful achievers in their journey. And Honorable Director, sir, keynote speakers, all of you have, made your journey quite inspiring, and you have shared your journey with us. Here, I would like to say one thing. There is a popular saying: "Cowards never start, the weak never finish, and the winners never quit." And you three are the real winners, who have, gone through the journey where you have many hurdles, but you crossed all those things, and you three have taken different paths, but ultimately you have reached to the one milestone. I will not say destination, because complacency is a sin. So you three have taken different paths, but you have converged to the same milestone, and that is success. Right? I wish that you continue getting success in your ventures. Individually, Deep Malaji, you really have, mentioned some good virtues, which, there should be there in the case of, any entrepreneur. Like, the skill sets regarding handling people, skill sets regarding finding opportunities in crisis. So I really appreciate the way you have presented those virtues and the way you have shared your life journey with us. Thank you, Deep Malaji. And Saily, ma'am, your story is also full of adventures. I will say adventures. The reason is you have taken your own path and you have shown the world that how you can get success even at the age of 23. So I wish that you continue getting the same kind of success in your life. Adappa, ma'am, your story is of a successful mother, successful entrepreneur. I will say successful mother because you have not treated only your biological child as child. You have also taken your product, your venture as your child, and that is something that is quite inspiring for us. That whatever you have started, whatever your ideas are, you own them, you nurture them, and that's your responsibility. You treat yourself as parent for your venture. That is something which was very inspiring. By true mean, you are a mother. So I have respect for all of you, and we thank you for your time and for the story which you have shared with us. I also thank our honorable director, sir, for the appreciation, for the consistent support to us. I thank my colleague, Professor Hazarika, for coordinating this event. And I thank my office staff, Rachi, and our IT staff, Mr. Balaji and his team, to go for this kind of e-Symposium. Thank you, friends. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.